Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is time once again for the Total Divas wrap up. We're here for the season finale. I, of course, am Mad Mike, and with me, as always, is the lovely, the talented, the jean wearing because Daddy likes them, Jen Carlins.
Hi, Mike. That was disgusting.
I was trying to think of. I could have said Samoa Joe dropped you on your neck, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I figured I'd
but
go with jeans.
what's Natty's mom thinking half the time? She needs to be filtered on that show.
I think she is, and that's the scary part. All right. So we're here for the season finale of Total Divas, and before we really dive into it, I'm gonna be honest. I was a little upset that the two things that we thought were going to be happening on this episode, neither of them really happened.
I know.
It was like I was a little upset by it.
It was a lot of floor play leading up to it, and then you're just.
Mm-hmm. Like I almost made my lower third reality show Blue Balls because that's what they gave us.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now we have to wait for next season, so we're all kind of like Paige's fiance, waiting for her to come home
from Japan. I know.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, let's get into this. We'll start off with the sad stuff first, and then we'll get into the funny and ridiculousness. Poor Tyson Kidd.
That was sad.
I felt so awful, so bad for that, and I think like the timeline is skewed a lot on this because, from what I remember, Tyson was injured way after the Japan trip, wasn't he? Or was it around the same time?
It was around the same time.
Okay.
It was, yeah, it was around the same time.
Oh, right.
Because it was just pre-show that he got dropped.
And then Cesaro was wrestling one of the Matadors after that, or okay. Yeah, okay, I remember that now. But yeah, I'm surprised they actually kind of showed us what happened. Like, if you were watching the monitor a little bit, you could see that's Samoa Joe dropping Tyson Kidd on his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, luckily Tyson's going to be okay, and thank God they showed us that he's going to be fine and everything, but that's I felt so bad. I still feel bad for Tyson.
Oh, I know. Just when his career with his BFF, Cesaro. But they'll be back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they will be the best tag team ever.
Hashtag BTE. But while this was going on, Natty was having issues with her eyes.
Yes.
Now, I know eye problems are not anything to sneeze at. But Natty's an idiot.
I like how if the littlest thing she freaks out about.
Natty, her default setting is to lie.
Oh, she just bold-faced lied to her husband.
But it's funny. Natty's default setting in her own life is to lie. Whenever she gives advice, it's to immediately tell the truth in the worst possible way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand Natty.
I don't understand Natty.
I mean, maybe this is a Canada thing.
No, I don't think it's Canada.
Maybe it's an inbred heart family thing. Anyway, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
But yeah, Natty, like I don't know how severe the eye problem is for Natty, but it sounds like she might just end up with a lazy eye.
Um,
Which I mean, Shawn Michaels wrestled with a lazy eye for years.
I don't think it. I don't think it's that serious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's not wrestling anyway, so
Well, I think this might have been why she wasn't wrestling.
it could have been.
Yeah,
It
but
could have very well.
and I mean, she does know that Daniel Bryan once detached a retina during a match, right?
I don't
Like
think she.
like
I
back
don't think she
back in
knows that.
ROH. In ROH, Bryan wrestled with a detached retina, and then he got he got the surgery, obviously.
Yeah.
And he was able to wrestle pretty well after that. So Natty just needs to come clean. And honestly, I think if like granted, I'm not married, but I think if one of you is getting surgery, the other one getting surgery at the same time is an okay thing because then you can recover together.
Well, I mean, even hers isn't. If she would have went ahead and got the surgery, it's not that she's going to walk around with a patch on her eye. She could still take care of her husband.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know. She's just she's a bunch of I don't know.
She's a bag of cats.
Yes, crazy cat lady.
All right, so moving on from the sad stuff, which of course has to involve Natty, let's talk about Paige. Let's talk about Paige. And so we expected Paige to kind of break up the engagement this week. That didn't happen.
No.
What I didn't expect was for Big Show to extol the virtues of marriage and to basically say to Paige that she can get what she can get while she can get it.
I know. I thought when they were starting to talk, I thought Big Show was going to be like the dad
Mm-hmm.
and be like, Paige, you're kind of young. But no, it totally went a 360. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Like, does he realize that Paige is like 22 and hot? She's going to get many marriage proposals. I'm sure right now on Twitter, there are 5 marriage proposals for Paige.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, literally as we are speaking.
Are they from you?
There are 6 marriage proposals for Paige. No, but if you are not ready to get married, you should not be getting married.
No.
No. I mean, no. That's and Paige goes to the worst people ever for advice.
Yeah.
She goes to like Big Show and Rosa and Natty. Not the best triumvirate of people.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I understand her reasonings behind it, but then it's like, and then they just left us.
Although, I have to say, as bad as Rosa is at giving advice, she did the best bit of acting ever in her WWE career on this episode of Total Divas.
Oh, during that scene?
During the scene where they're reenacting what would happen when Paige told her fiance. I'm like, I looked at it and I'm like, I've seen a lot of Rosa Mendez, both on this show and on WWE, like in continuity stuff. And
right.
That was the best acting she's ever done, and it's because A, she didn't say anything. 2, she
True.
didn't have to emote, except for what was painted on her face. And 6, she had to look stunned or confused because I think that's just her default setting.
Well, yeah. I did like when they were sitting there at catering,
Mm-hmm.
and there's Foxy, and that was the same time.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that was my favorite part. That was my favorite part. But can we get on to the
dumping of Scott Scaff or whatever his name is?
who?
I don't. Paige's fiance. I don't even know what his name is.
Kevin?
Sure.
Scott Staff?
I don't know.
Isn't that the lead singer of Creed?
And it's basically the same thing.
It's totally different.
It's basically the same thing. He's a lead singer in a band no one listens to, so it might as well be Creed.
It's true, but that's like, oh God. Oh, okay.
I don't know. Whatever.
I've never heard of the band either.
Neither
but
have I.
yet, I don't.
They're about as relevant as Creed in 2015. So I'm just assuming that it's Scott Scaff. So anyway, I don't know. Do
you need to go back to bed?
No. Honestly, I would say this if I'd been awake for 8 hours. No, I don't know the guy's name because I don't care to know the guy's name. A, he looks too much like her last boyfriend anyway.
He really does. He does.
I don't know how she can keep those two apart in her brain. It's like when Rachel on Friends started dating the dude who looked exactly like Ross. I believe his name was Russ.
Russ, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those situations, and everyone's okay with this, apparently.
Mainstream doesn't look anything like my ex-boyfriends.
Mm-hmm. Or like Dean Ambrose.
He will never look like Dean Ambrose.
All right. So, before we move on to Nikki Bella. Jen, when do you think is the best time to tell someone you don't want to be engaged?
When you don't want to be engaged,
Mm-hmm.
or you don't want kids, and you don't want married, probably the first, second date, maybe the third.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because by the third, you're like, you're developing, you're like, yeah, and then, that's pretty much when you want to exit.
Nip that in the bud.
Nip that in the bud. Now, after that episode last night, myself and Mr. Mainstream,
Hi, Matt.
got into a little
marital strife.
It was too late.
Because I asked Mainstream if when we were dating, when we got together all like 12 years ago, if he found out that I didn't want kids and I didn't want to get married,
Mm-hmm.
would he stick around?
Ooh. Oh, that's a question.
Do you want to answer that?
Well, it's a weird question because if you want to ask the question, you worded the question to me very strangely, because you said if I didn't want to get married, would you have asked me to marry you? And I said, well, if I knew you didn't want to get married, I would have never asked you to marry me because I knew you didn't want to get married. And you're like, so will we still be together? I'm like, well, that would be kind of difficult if we weren't married, even in this long relationship. How long have Nikki and John been together? Like a few years?
3-4 years.
Mhm.
Right. See,
Living
we've been
in
together a lot
sin.
longer than
Living
that.
in
Just a
sin.
little bit longer.
Yeah. But then I factually stated to him that if I found out he didn't want to get married and he didn't want kids, I would have been like, see ya.
Okay.
And he doesn't even have John Cena money.
Better put a ring on it.
That is very interesting. I love that this episode of Total Divas almost caused some marital strife in the Carlins household.
It really did.
Um,
Because I flat out told him that, you know, I wanted to get married. I wanted kids.
hmm
So if you know somebody, like, what would you say? What would you do?
Well, I mean, I'm currently single and looking around. So on all the dating websites that I'm on,
Are you ready to mingle, Mike?
I am ready to mingle, Jen. But they ask like if you want to get married, if you want to have kids, if you have kids, and all stuff like that. I think at this point in my life, if a girl I was seeing didn't have the same views on that, I wouldn't stick around with her
Exactly.
unless she was like super hot. No, I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding.
You're an asshole.
I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. No, yeah, but if you don't have those same kind of views on the future, then you all don't need to be together.
Those are kind of big things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not even saying that it has to happen right away, but it's just if you're looking for something long term.
Yes.
Like if you're looking for something in the short term, those kind of things don't matter.
Right.
Like if you're just looking for like a little fling here and there, those type of things don't matter. But if you're looking for something long term, then you kind of need to have that conversation early on.
Yes.
I mean, you don't need to have it too seriously, but you need to have a general concept of where they're at in those things.
Definitely. 'Cause
Okay, so
I am Team Dolph.
So Jen, let me ask you a very important question. This occurred to me last night while I was watching the show.
Okay.
Would the entire show be fixed if Paige and Nikki swapped men? Because John Cena never wants to get married. Paige, seemingly, for right now, does not want to get married.
She's young. She is.
I mean,
young, some of my friends were, married young, and they're still together. But I don't know. I don't know.
It'd be weird.
I could not see Paige with John Cena. Therefore, I couldn't see anybody with John Cena. Because
he's so stoic on the show.
You know what? He's really nice to kids, but he's a dick.
Yeah. I mean,
who dresses up in a suit and goes to a fancy schmancy restaurant?
Well, to be fair, he might have had to go to work after that. It sounded like it anyway.
That's what it sounded like.
Because they have a dress code.
Who?
WWE.
They have a dress code?
Yeah.
Does Dean Ambrose know about this dress code?
I think some people, because of their gimmick, can abscond the dress code, but most people have to show up in suits to the arena and everything.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a legitimate thing.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, that's why you never see like any of the guys arriving backstage. You only see the Divas because obviously they're not gonna wear suits, but they're all
Right.
dressed in nice, semi-formal attire, like usually like, always in dresses and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like I think there are a few people who, because of their gimmick, don't have to adhere to a dress code, but yeah, I'm sure Cena shows up to the arena in a suit every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I never knew that.
Okay, so let's get to the hot button issue. Jen,
Yes.
if you were out with, let's say you were out with the Sorgs and Dutters and not Matt
Mm-hmm.
at a restaurant, okay?
Okay.
And let's also say that you were on friendly terms with an ex who you happened to see there.
Okay.
Would you invite that ex to sit down with the rest of you?
Was the ex like with his parents,
Yeah, sure.
like a Mr. Ziggler was?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, I would.
Okay. See,
Even if
to
he
me,
was even if he was alone, I'd still do it.
to me, that's a little weird.
Why is that weird?
It's a little weird.
It's not. It's not weird in their case because you got they. First of all,
They're also coworkers, so
they're coworkers.
I get that. I get that part of it, but still, if my significant other wasn't with me, I would say that's weird.
You know who? You know who we should ask?
Who should we ask, Jen?
Let's ask Green Stream.
Ask me what?
Well, he can't hear me because you have the headphones on, so you have to ask him.
Here.
Mike, I'm very busy. I'm working on. Mike, I'm very busy. I'm working on this week's column, which you'll be able to find at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. What can I do for you?
So Matt, I have a question for you.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to ask, but Jen insisted I ask you. So, if you were out at a fancy restaurant with, let's say, you were out with the Sorgs and, let's say, LB.
Okay.
You were out at a restaurant, and Jen was not with you. She was home with the kids.
What a treat for me.
I know. And you ran into an ex at the restaurant, and that ex, you're on friendly terms with. They were there dining with a family member. Would you ask your ex to join you at a large table for dinner?
It depends on the ex.
Okay.
There are those that I would be comfortable welcoming, and there are those that I would not want to make eye contact with, Mike. So it all depends on the ex, Mike.
Well, I'm saying that you're on like friendly terms, like you're on very good terms, like you.
If I was on very good terms, yeah, I would say yeah, probably.
Okay, see, that to me is just weird.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Did I give the same answer as Jen?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good. All right.
No,
good.
but it just seems like a weird concept to me.
High five me, bro.
Like, if I was there with my significant other, then okay, yeah, I can see that. But
So
if
you
I'm
say
not
if you have your current significant other with you,
Mhm.
that makes you more likely to invite your ex to sit with you.
Yes, I still probably wouldn't do it.
You see, if I was with Jen and when my ex was there, I would not invite my ex over to the table because Jen would kill her. No, she wouldn't. She would probably brag because because she won.
But how does them not being there make it better? That's what I don't get.
I just don't think. I think it would make Jen uncomfortable.
Okay.
Unless, I don't know. It depends. Depends on the ex, Mike.
Okay.
I like that this has become a relationship podcast and not really has anything to do with Total Divas anymore.
Well, I mean, Total Divas is all about relationships, Matt. It's all about relationships.
It was a great show this week.
Yes, it was.
I really enjoyed it. But as your on-screen graphic implies, I feel terrible for Tyson, and I was dreading that moment during this entire season. So it's very sad. Poor Tyson, petting his cat in a neck brace. Very sad.
Is it wrong? I wanted the kitties to have like mini neck braces so that they matched.
That would have been awesome. Maybe next week. Oh, wait.
No, there is no next week.
Finale?
Yeah, this was the season
Continue.
finale.
That'll be in the previews for next season.
We have to wait for everyone to come back from Japan.
Cats from knee brace. Cats and knee braces or neck
Cats
braces.
embrace. Cats embrace. Cats embrace.
Okay, but so let's get to the issue of Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, Dolph.
All right, so normally when faced with a challenge of two men like this, the best way is to make a list of pros and cons. So,
Of course.
So Jen,
Yes.
you will be on Dolph Ziggler's side.
I am Team Dolph.
I guess by default I will be Team John Cena.
Boo.
So let's make a list of what are the pros of dating Dolph Ziggler. Jen.
The pros to dating Dolph Ziggler are as follows. He has...
Wait, that's a con.
What's a con?
That the sex is too athletic.
I was gonna say the first thing out of your mouth should be he could give you a husband, he could give you kids.
You guys are interrupting me. You're not a part of this podcast. Get the fuck out.
Let me go get your kid.
Hey, if you'll invite an ex over for dinner, you can invite your husband over for a podcast. Anyway, so the pros of Dolph Ziggler.
The pros of Mr. Dolph Ziggler are as follows. He can give me kids. He can give me a husband.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Is that it?
No.
It kind of seems like that's it.
He can give me a fun time. You know, I don't have to. I don't have to dress up and be Miss Fancy Smancy when I could just put jeans and a t-shirt on and I could just go to a local joint with Mr. Ziggler.
But Jen, remember, you are also Nikki Bella, who
maybe there's a side of Nikki Bella
that's Louboutin everything.
Yes, but did you see pictures of Nikki and Dolph at football game?
I believe that was a hockey game, but okay.
It wasn't a hockey game. It was a football game, and they were at a hockey game.
Okay.
And she was dressed normally, like a normal person.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Dolph can let her be herself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you want to know my list for John Cena?
He's got money, and that's about it.
Boom! Boom! Making it rain.
Oh, but you know what? It comes down to you're an ass. I mean,
it was a good setup.
That's all he's got. That's all John Cena has got. He is so self-absorbed into himself that I mean, first of all, if somebody came at me with a contract to live together, I'd be like, "Fuck you, buddy. I'm out of here."
What if that guy was literally going through a divorce? I can understand John Cena's hesitation.
No.
Dolph Ziggler hasn't gone through anything like that as far as we know. John Cena got taken to the cleaners in his divorce. So the next time he enters into a relationship, I can understand his cautiousness.
I mean, there's being cautious and then there's just being a dick. And that's John Cena.
All right, fair enough. This is the show where John Cena feels.
Even I mean, John Cena. I mean, his house isn't even. It's not even a house. It's a museum. You can't do anything.
But that's those houses in Miami or Florida or wherever they're at.
Not all.
All
Not all.
right. It's most houses on reality television.
Well, yeah. Most porn houses, too.
Okay. Jen watches a lot of porn, I'm guessing. Anyway, so what are the cons to dating Dolph Ziggler, Jen?
The cons to dating Dolph Ziggler are as follows.
There's one right there.
The sex is athletic.
Wait, hold on. How is that a con?
Too athletic.
For some.
For some.
Right.
For Amy Schumer. No offense to Amy Schumer, but
She's not. I'm
she's
sure
not a
she's.
physical specimen.
She's.
I'm not saying she's not attractive. I'm not saying she's not attractive. I'm saying
she's very pretty. She's very.
yeah.
But I mean, she's not Nikki Bella shape.
Yeah, exactly. She's not like clean and jerking like Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
Clean and jerking. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, is she just saying that? I mean.
Yeah, I mean that could have also been a bit too. So.
I didn't know who John Cena was.
Sorry.
But I mean, all right. So what are the other cons of Dolph Ziggler besides too athletic sex? Which I don't know if everyone would agree on that con.
But you know what? With the too athletic of sex, it would be the what type of mind frame am I in at the moment?
I would imagine you're ready for some sex in that mind frame, Jen.
I mean,
I like how I'm trying to get
yes.
off the sex point, and you keep bringing us right back to it.
I
You're
know.
like, no, we need to discuss this
Who
more.
would want to have sex with Dolph Ziggler? Who wouldn't want to have sex with Dolph Ziggler?
Well, I don't know.
Exactly.
Okay, but at the same time, I'd imagine Cena's no slouch in that department himself.
Did you see Trainwreck?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't really judge that because that's, a movie. And he's
No.
acting.
Yeah, he's acting.
All right, anyway, is that the only con for Dolph Ziggler athletic sex? Because I can think of a few more.
No, he likes the Browns.
Okay. So the only two
But
cons
and
are athletic sex and his football team of choice.
his football team of choice, his baseball team of choice, his basketball team is.
How about
It's good.
he's like a shameless flirt?
He would flirt with your mom.
I'm sure he did flirt with their mom in some of the outtakes at the pool. I'm sure he flirted with the Bella's mom because, as we know, she was looking around.
Mama Bella was all into that. Dolph Ziggler.
Ziggler power.
I know. But, I mean, for the most part, I'm sure, I don't know. I mean, it all comes down to lowering your standards. And that's where, I mean, you're lowering
It all depends on where on the card you want to work.
And look what has happened to Dolph Ziggler.
Well, I mean,
Exactly.
okay, so I guess I'll give some cons for dating John Cena. If you want to get married, you're shit out of luck. If you want kids, you're shit out of luck. I mean, I think maybe at this point the only way for Nikki Bella to really get what she wants from John Cena is for her to become a Make-A-Wish kid. I mean, that's horrible to say.
It's the only.
But, I mean.
It is. It's the only.
John Cena grants over 300 wishes. He can't grant one wish to Nikki Bella.
He can't grant any wishes to Nikki Bella. That's sad.
I like how Matt's only getting half of the conversation, but still got the joke.
I know. I know.
Yeah, but and John Cena, he seems very polished in how he speaks,
And comes
and
off as a
Nikki
dick.
clearly isn't.
No.
And all right, and Jen, you know, I've noticed this before, but we've never really addressed it. Every time the Bellas speak, and I notice Dolph does this too, which makes me feel like they're a better match.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they end a sentence, it always sounds like a question.
It does.
Every single time, it's like, I could give you kids. I could give you a husband. Like, Dolph did it too, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, I don't know if Nikki learned it from Dolph or if Dolph learned it from Nikki, but they both do it all of the time.
Maybe it was the
Even in their promos too, which explains why neither of them are that good at promos.
Yeah, maybe it's something that they learned down in FCW.
I hope not. But because I mean, there are other people who went to FCW and don't speak like they're always speaking in questions. Like they're not the fucking Riddler. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
okay.
I don't know. I mean, to put it like this, if I was dating Dean Ambrose.
Oh God. All right,
okay,
we're going off the rails here.
If we went on a couple of dates and then I found out he didn't want to get married, he didn't want kids,
You'd bang him for a few months and then get rid of him.
I would already be banging him.
I know, but a few more. And that's the truth. That's why you're not answering.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, see? All right.
Man, I would be hitting that every day.
All right.
Anyway.
Jen, you are off the rails.
Gosh, this pod, Sorg's going to be so mad at me.
You just completely derailed yourself with thoughts of banging Dean Ambrose. Anyway, so
wow.
We didn't get a preview for next season.
Nothing.
I was a little disappointed because usually they give something.
They have like a little tease, a little coming attraction, but I think they are in the process of filming now.
Mm-hmm. And it's at this point where we should say with a heavy heart that Naomi's not going to be a part of Total Divas.
No.
Did you hear who's going to be replacing Naomi on Total Divas?
Amanda.
Oh yeah.
Which she's not even.
Well, no, she has an NXT contract, I think, a developmental one.
Yeah, she does, but I don't think she should be in on Total Divas.
Oh well, because they're going to be spending a lot of time down in Florida for Eva. I think they want someone else for Eva to interact with.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think that has a lot to do with it.
It could be.
Because who else in NXT would they have on Total Divas? Certainly not Bayley. Like maybe Alexa Bliss, but
yeah, I would just her.
Yeah,
Carmella would be good.
Yeah, but Carmella and Bayley are road buddies and all that stuff. Like
they are.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they were going to take whoever the tough enough runner-up was and just pair her off with Eva on Total Divas.
That's true.
It's going to be interesting, but so for next season, Jen.
Yes.
I want 2 predictions before we wrap this up.
Okay. Oh, I have to predict now?
Yeah, but that's what I was asking. Like right now, 2 predictions. They can be anything you want. Anything you want to predict.
All right, 2 things. More cats
Okay.
and shit.
If you want, I can come with my prediction so you can think of your second one.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. I predict we are going to see the NXT, the Total Divas debut of Bayley, because we already saw Becky Lynch this episode, so I'm gathering that we're going to see some Bayley there, and I really hope that's accurate. Also, I have a feeling that we're going to see pregnant Rosa Mendez. And I am so excited for how crazy and hormonal pregnant Rosa Mendez is.
Even though now that she's pregnant and stuff, is she still working?
I have no idea.
How does that happen?
She wasn't working beforehand, so
How does that work with female talent?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Stephanie was still making most of the trips, but that's Stephanie.
Well, she does a lot of back stuff too.
Well, yeah. I don't know what Rosa's doing. It's going to be very interesting, but I have a feeling we're going to see at some point pregnant Rosa Mendez. And I'm super excited by this concept because I think it's going to be as much of a train wreck she is now.
You know what I think? A lot more of the Bella's stepdad.
Oh.
Bella Power.
Oh, God. Oh, you mean John Laurinaitis?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a lot of John Laurinaitis. Do you think that might be the big wedding we get next season?
We do get a wedding every year.
We do get a wedding every year. And it's clearly not going to be Paige's.
And you know what? I'm sure JJ's going to fuck it up.
Well, obviously, that's what he's there for.
He's a dork.
Okay, so, Jen.
What?
Give me a 1-word review for this season of Total Divas.
Interesting.
Okay. I'm going to say heartbreaking. Because there are so many sad things this season.
And they all happened to Natty.
Yeah, well, not all of them. Then we got the Dusty Rhodes stuff, too.
Well, that happened.
And the Daniel Bryan stuff. No, I feel bad for Daniel Bryan. You know, being injured out again. All right, so, Jen, as we wrap this up, where can the good people of the internet find you?
On Twitter, at Jen Carlins.
With one N. With one N. Please feel free to tweet at Jen Carlins and ask her what other kind of things that she would be doing to Dean Ambrose. She will go through it in great detail. I promise you that. I'm Mad Mike.
I haven't sent you any pictures
Today.
I sent 20 in the last 2 weeks.
All right,
since the picture of Roman.
Yeah, and that was like 6 days ago, if that.
Well, it's been a week, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so anyway, I'm Mad Mike 4883 on the Twitter. She's gonna find one now and send it to me just to prove a point. And if you want more talk about wrestling from people like myself, Jen, and Mainstream Matt with 1T, that's Matt Carlins on the Twitter. Feel free to tune in to WrestlingMayhemShow.com, where we talk about wrestling every Tuesday night. And yeah, we cover pretty much everything. And also, if you want more wrestling talk, like how Eva Marie is doing on NXT with varied success, you can tune into the Midweek War, where we discuss all of the wrestling-based programming on Wednesday night, including Impact, Ring of Honor, and NXT. Myself, Antonio Garza, Eamon Payton, we have a lot of people on that show. Sometimes Bobby F. J-Town shows up. Sometimes the Riz actually watches shit. we got a lot of people showing up on those shows. So we don't know when the next season of Total Divas is going to start, but you can rest assured when it does, we will be here. And in the meantime, if there is a Diva search, we will be here. Because we will talk about anything related to the damn Divas. Isn't that right, Jen?
True.
Yes. So, until the next season of Total Divas, for Jen Carlins, I'm Mad Mike, and ain't gonna stop us now.
Bye-bye.